What's up, guys? This is Brick Bros M418. Today we are doing some stuff on suspension designs. We received a comment basically saying that we didn't know about old LEGO suspension designs. So today we are showing you every single LEGO suspension design that we know of, and basically why we choose to use our own suspension in our builds instead of using the LEGO suspension systems. So this is a comment that we got. You can see it's from Savage Dude from one day ago. Oh, so savage. Anyways, I love how people don't know that LEGO manufactured ones with shock absorbers. So, yeah, we all kind of know that. Like everybody knows that. So we just wanted to show you all the ones that we know of, because we know of them. We're not morons. Here in front of you, you can see this little small LEGO set from 1989 called the Hook and Haul Wrecker, I think is what it's called. It's a pretty neat little set, and you can see the axles under there are quite interesting looking because they actually have suspension right there. It's got springs in there, so it's got actual shocks. It's pretty neat. And flexes on stuff. Not too well though, because it is a really light truck, because it's only 4 studs wide and has very few pieces, but it's a really cool little set. Came with this, oops, almost ripped his legs off, but he has this little guy who has a truck on his shirt, which is pretty neat. So just wanted to show you those suspension pieces, which came out around the year of this truck. Not exactly though, I don't think, but it's a pretty neat piece. But can't really implement this into modern 6 studs wide builds very easily, so at least not without a lot of modification. So we think that's what Savage Dude was talking about, was this piece here. So I just wanted to show that and why it doesn't really work with modern builds. Although you can use this piece, and you can use it with regular size tires with the regular rims. And you can do that by taking a piece like this, putting it on the axle, and then you can put the tire right on there, just like that. And it even makes like a little spacer. And you can use the bigger ones, you know, that stick out farther, so you can have it stick out like this wide as you want, so you can basically have an adjustable axle. So you can use it, but it is just much harder to implement into normal builds. Here we have 2 LEGO Technic shock pieces. This one here, the yellow one, has much harder springs on it. Well, spring. And then this one here is much softer. And we're going to show you a couple different builds that have these in it as shocks.
But you can see how big they are compared to this truck.
Yeah, they are absolutely massive. Just a little bit out of scale as normal shock absorbers, because normally your shocks aren't taller than you, or your truck. So you can see they're very well. There's all kinds of different Technic shocks out there, large ones and small ones, but we only have those 2 types, so we will only be able to show you those 2. Here in front of you, what you now see is Emmett's getaway truck or something like that, and Emmett's getaway car or something like that. Anyways, this is an actual LEGO set. And you can see one of the shocks in there. I flipped that up, you can kind of see it in there. And that makes it so the front of this truck has suspension. Sadly, the back doesn't, it's just solid. But the front does, which is really cool. But you can see this truck is just absolutely massive to the size of a normal minifigure. So it's a little bit out of scale, again, because the shock towers are absolutely massive. So we'll show you a LEGO build of our own and how we tried to make these look a little bit less ginormous. Now what you see in front of you is the custom mock that we made. And in the back you can see the suspension setup there. So the back of it has suspension, which is pretty neat. It's like a trophy truck style setup to it with spare tires. This is like a Mag Max style OBS Ford kind of truck. If you want to see a tutorial on this, we can totally make that, so comment down below if you want to see that. So that's how we kind of tried to make the shocks look less giant and put it in this truck. It's pretty cool. What you now see is a Lego Technic set called Extreme Adventure, something like that. And it also has the same shocks in there. Don't know if you can see this right back in there. Front and back. It's got solid axles. And you can see it's got suspension. It's pretty neat. And this is like totally completely to scale. So you can see what the scale is like when you put this truck to a couple of minifigures. You can see it's a little bit out of scale to normal size minifigures. So these shocks are great for Technic builds like this Lego Technic set, but not exactly for normal regular size builds.
Alright guys, so next we have the Clone Turbo Tank. This is the second version. It's not the old one. This is like the... Is there a third version? I don't know. This is the second one that came out. It has two different kinds of shocks on it. It has the regular one, Technique, like you saw before. You see it in there. But it also has these, where these just pivot like this on an axle. All of them do. Except for the one in the middle. Which is pretty cool. Pretty interesting design. It rolls really super smooth. And if you want to drive over something, doesn't have any problems. But as you can see, it's freaking huge compared to a
I'll show the minifigures here.
Lego man, so that's not really a practical way to do shocks for a scale guy. But it looks really good on a huge vehicle like this.
Yeah, so to this, they kind of are in scale because it is a giant.
It is a turbo tank.
Yeah. So,
but not for like a Jeep or something.
Yeah.
Alright, next one we got here is the Lego Mars Mission Rhino 1. You guys remember Mars Mission? Pretty awesome. Anyways, it's got different suspension on it too. It's got, on the very front, first two wheels, has the same thing as a Clone Turbo Tank, kind of. Just pivots like that. You see it?
Yeah.
But there's no actual shocks in there, it just pivots. And in the back two wheels, both of these are hooked together, and they're hooked through one shaft here, and they pivot like this. So you get kind of that kind of action. Still a pretty effective way of building shocks without actually having to use spring shocks, but still it's pretty dang big. You can see the guys in there, you know, so pretty cool. Now we got another Mars Mission little thing for you. It's not completely put together, it's missing a claw, half a claw, but anyways, still get the idea. It doesn't have any shocks either, but it has tracks that move like this. You can see it's on it's kind of the same deal, just on a axle that pivots, but works really good, just like that. So that's pretty cool. And the tracks themselves are kind of like suspension-y. Of course, it's fully independent. And the back ones are solid. Still pretty cool. Alright, now we got the Indiana Jones flying wing. You can see it was in the desert for a super long time, so it's super dusty. Believe it or not, it has suspension on it too. If you flip it over, you can see the landing gear. It just pivots just like that. So when you land it, you see it?
yeah.
It sits just like that. Very interesting. That might actually work on like a small minifigure scale truck. But as you can tell, it's not the most practical. Because like say you're flexing over a rock or something, it's going to get a little bit messed up.
There is a set where they have this design kind of scaled up, and it is kind of neat. It's an old firefighter set. We'll show that to you. So there you can see it there. He brought up an image of it. It's set number 4430. You can see the suspension action going on there. It's a pretty cool set. So here we have a slightly modified image of a Ford Raptor, the Lego set from Speed Champions, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the rubber band suspension design it has in there. It just gives it independent suspension with those there. And they just have little like nub things you can see the rubber bands attached to.
Like ball joints or something.
Yeah, so it gives it independent suspension, which is pretty cool. And there are like thousands of examples in this of different Lego sets and custom mocks and stuff, this is a very commonly used suspension system. So that's about all the suspension systems that we can really think of. If you can think of or find any more, then be sure to tell us in the comments, and even send us a link to a video if you have a video on that, because we would be very interested to see that. So we'll end this off with our custom Lego Jeep Grand Cherokee here, which we'll eventually do a video on, so you'll get to see a tutorial on this. You can see it's got all kinds of cool stuff on it. But it has our suspension design on it with rubber bands. And you see, well, but you see it flexes. It's pretty neat. You can see it flexes on obstacles pretty well. A little bit better when it has the back axle.
It doesn't usually break that badly.
Yeah, I had to use different pieces on here on the back. Usually I would use those there. You can see those pieces are much better than these, because it just messes with the way the rubber bands wrap around it, and it just makes it break like that. So we will fix that in the tutorial. So one more suspension system we just wanted to show you really quick. This is a little Jeep from Toy Story, the short Toy Story series that Lego had. And you can see its suspension is non-existent. It has no suspension, it's just solid axles. So it's definitely the easiest and simplest suspension to do. And you can see it flexes decently. So, I mean, it's great. So, leave a like and subscribe, and just, yeah, stay tuned on our channel for more videos like this.